anyone that you're listening to and they're telling you that the middleman strategy is illegal, or that this can't be done, or that can't be done, or you should do it this way, you know the funny thing is, they're right. What's up? So are you thinking about doing government contracting as a middleman? You want to use the middleman strategy? You want to go to this website, sam.gov, and you want to make money as a middleman? And you heard that it may be illegal? I got you. Stay tuned. I'm going to cover all the details you know in this video. Some people say that the middleman strategy is illegal. You can go to jail. You want to do government contracting, but you can't sub out all the work. You can't have someone do 100% of the work and you do nothing and you just sit on the couch and make money. That's illegal. Listen, I'm going to clarify some things today and I'm going to give you guys some direction. Now, I'm just a guy on YouTube. Hey, do you take illegal advice where you want to take illegal advice? But I'm going to give you my perspective on the middleman strategy and how you, yes, spoiler alert, how you can use it. This is the website we're talking about, sam.gov. By the way, if you didn't know this, you don't have to log in to see this information. Everything I'm going to share with you, you can look at for free. The website's free. This registering is free. The FAR clause, everything you can look at, I'm going to share with you, you can look at for free. So what you want to do is you want to be familiar with sam.gov and you want to know that we're bidding on federal government contracts. Now, I want to give you guys my 3-step system, if you will, or my 3-step overview, if you will. Here's my point of view, guys, when it comes to government contracting. I feel that nobody is wrong on the internet. Anyone that you're listening to and they're telling you that the middleman strategy is illegal, or that this can't be done, or that can't be done, or you should do it this way, you know the funny thing is, they're right. Nobody is wrong on the internet when it comes to the government contracting business, and I'll tell you why. There are 3 major ways of actually doing government contracting. 3 major ways, and let me go over them real quick. So number 1, you can actually be the company doing the work. You can be the prime. Let's look at Lockheed Martin, or even think about your local snowplower down the street or your local landscaper. You can have a website, you can have employees, you can have staff, you can have a capability statement, you can have a DUNS number, you have a business account, you have all these things. And guess what? You do government contracting. You've been doing janitorial. You have a janitorial company. You've been doing janitorial for 20 years and you have 40 employees. Guess what? You now can do number 1. You can be the prime on government contracts and you can go make money. And there's great money in that. There's nothing wrong with doing it that way. I don't do it that way, but there's nothing wrong with doing it that way. And if you call your local SBA, if you call your local PTAC, they're going to give you advice on how to do it that way. All right, here's number 3. I'm actually going to skip number 2. So number 1, you're the prime. You do the work. You've been around for 20 years, blah, 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 blah. Number 3, I'm going to talk about my buddy over here, Desmond. I don't know him personally. I just know he has great content online. Desmond teaches, as well as the other ways of doing it, he also teaches consulting. I don't teach it. If this is something you want to do, definitely reach out to him. I don't teach it. However, here's number 3. You could be a high-paid consultant. That means is you could go to an IT company. You could go to a security company. You can go to a large-scale construction company. And guess what? You don't have a business. You may not even be registered on sam.gov. You have nothing. But you're going to knock on the door of that IT company. Hey, IT company, I can win you guys a $30, $40 million government contract because I know how to win contracts. Give me all your expertise. Give me all your certifications. Give me everything you have. I'm going to take it to the government. I'm going to shop it for you. And I'm going to win you a $40 million contract. And then you just pay me 1-2%. Deal? Deal. That's a great one I'm doing, guys. Consulting is a great business. I don't do that one either. We're going to get to what I do in a second. I don't do that one either, but that's a great one to do because you're not the prime. You have nothing to do with the contract. You just have a legal agreement in place. And this is as far as I know, because I don't do this. you have a legal agreement in place, and that means that you now do consulting. And that means that you get paid a percent off the contract. Wesley, the reason we're here is it illegal to be a middleman? Listen, here is the middleman strategy. So this is number 2. We did 1, we did 3, now here's 2. I personally feel that the middleman strategy is the best of both worlds. As a middleman, I am the prime. It is my contract, and it is my responsibility. It is my responsibility because it is my contract. However, as a middleman, I don't have 20 years of experience in janitorial. I don't have a website. I don't have necessarily a logo. I don't have necessarily a DUNS number. You don't need to get a DUNS number anymore. They got rid of that in April 2022. It's now the UEID. I don't have those things that the prime has in number 1. I'm also not a consultant because I'm tied to this contract. I'm not just winning a contract and handing things over to my sub. I'm going to add value to this contract as a middleman. So number 2 option is you can be the middleman. But now let's talk about what is the correct way to be a middleman. Okay, now let's talk about the middleman strategy as I understand it and as I do it, guys, by the way. So listen, look at the screen right now. You're looking at clinical laundry services. This is what people get wrong about the middleman concept. People believe that, oh, the middleman strategy is illegal because you guys do none of the work and you guys just sit at home and it's got to be illegal. That's got to be illegal. Well, there's 2 things you don't understand. 1, the government will tell you what they allowed you to subcontract. There'll be limitations, and I'll go over that here in a second. 2, you can also work on solicitations that don't require a limitation on subcontracting FAR clause. So I'll explain that here in a second. But let me give you guys an example. So I've won a dry cleaning contract before, and I have a dry cleaning contract, made money in dry cleaning. I have multiple friends who made money in dry cleaning. And guess what? We don't own dry cleaners, but we add value to the federal government. And let me tell you what I mean. So for example, this is an example for laundry services through the federal government. If you go in here, it says the set aside is a total small business. What you got to understand is people get pass through confused with middleman concept. Pass through would be like, this said, this is for a service disabled veteran owned company. And I'm not a service disabled veteran owned company, but I go find one that's a service disabled veteran owned company and I go bid on this proposal or bid on this solicitation. That's illegal because I am not a service disabled veteran owned company. So first of all, first lesson for you guys right now is we are not looking for, I'm not a women owned company. I'm not going to look for a set aside that says women owned and then go find a women owned company to go do the work for me. That's not how it works. That's called pass through. First of all, that's what people don't know. Now, second of all, when it comes to the government, guys, it's all about adding value. As you can see here, we got pillowcases, flat sheets. We got all this work that needs to be done over the next 5 years for dry cleaning. There's no reason why I can't do this contract, but some of you guys are like, well, Wesley, what about 52.219-14? I'm glad you asked. Limitations on subcontracting. When it comes to limitations on subcontracting, you got to understand again what we do. Let me go back to my dry cleaning contract. I won the contract, right? One time, the shirts had holes in it. They got burnt holes in it. And they're like, Wesley, the government said, Wesley, are you going to replace these shirts or are you going to repair them? I said, okay. That same moment I got it, the same second I got that email, I went straight to my sub. Hey, sub, are you going to replace these shirts or are you going to repair them? My sub was like, we'll be out there tomorrow to pick up the shirts. We got it. I said, government, we'll be out there tomorrow to pick up the shirts. We got it. That is an example of me adding value to the contract. I'm not just sitting in my house and sleeping and getting money every day. Like, I actually have work to do. So, guys, I'm being upfront with anyone who said certain things about the way I teach it. If I've relayed the information as if you don't do any work, you do work. I will 100% say government contracting is not true passive income. It's not passive. It's not residual. It is money that you're working to do. Take the money you're making in government contracting and go put it in real estate like I do. Take the money you're making in government contracting and go put it in Section 8. Take the money you're working in government contracting and go buy an Amazon store. But government contracting is not passive. You know, outside of me doing the value added things, I'm also invoicing on a monthly basis. I'm also doing quality control. I'm working my contract. Now, I may not physically be there at that facility. I may be in I'm in Ohio. I got contracts all the way out in Vegas, Oregon, but I don't physically have to be there to do my percentage of managing it. So guys, I'm not going to go through this whole limitation of contracting. You guys can do that yourself. But that is, and again, this is not how we get around it. People say, Wesley, how do you get around it? We're not getting around anything. This is how it's done. Lockheed Martin does the same thing. This is how it's done. Now, let me give you guys another example. So again, this is 52.219-14. So if I go into here, I go command find, and I want to find it. Right here, it says that this FAR clause applies to this contract. Okay, it's saying that it applies. So it's saying that there's limitation on subcontracting out. You can't just 100% sit on your butt at home and subcontract this out. But now, Wesley, what do you do as a government contractor, as a middleman? So let me tell you what I do. Here's another example of a contract I would do. This one is something I would do that necessarily I haven't seen the FAR clause. I've read through here, the description. I've read over the solicitation, and from as far as I've seen, now I've been looking this up, the FAR clause, a limitation of subcontracting, does not apply. You guys got to understand, if you look right here, it says the current version of the following FAR incorporated applies to this acquisition, and they're saying these clauses apply. And this is the thing they don't tell you. The people, I love them to death, the people who are doing this and making money in government contracting, the people who are putting content out there, I love them to death. But this is what they're not telling you. Like, they're not telling you that all FAR clauses don't apply to all acquisitions. Every FAR, like the FAR clause is like the Bible of government contracting, but every verse doesn't apply to every contract, if that makes sense, okay? All right, Curbs, I'm sorry if your TikTok gets blown up after this. This is a contracting officer that reached out to me. He's been with the Air Force, been doing contracting office, being a contracting officer in that field for over 20 plus years. And this is the man that reached out to me, and I want to share you guys some content that he posted. Now, he posted this publicly on his TikTok, so I believe that I can share it with you. But I want to share with you guys some content that he's posted publicly. And let me go ahead and just share you. I mean, as you guys can see, he's a contracting officer. Let me play this video. So that's just him getting back to a new unit. He was actually training people to, and again, I'm not in the government, guys. I'm never going to say I'm the government, because I'm not the government. I think he was training people to do solicitations, to actually put up solicitations before he got back straight into the contracting office. But he puts together some good videos for you guys to understand the middleman concept. Let me see if I can pull them up.
All right, so I've had a few people ask, and yes, I am an instructor. I teach at AATC, active duty military. So I'm gonna actually stitch my boy Wes, and I watch Wes actually because he's one of the few people I've noticed on TikTok that actually just give the information, a lot of the information. I won't say he gives all the information, but as rightly so, he shouldn't, right? If your name is gonna be attached to him or vice versa, his name is gonna be attached to you, he shouldn't be giving you a ton of information that's gonna be false or incorrect would be the best word to use. So, but I would say this, I've been a SEAL before, I'm currently a tech school instructor. If more people followed the instructions like Wes does and took the time to properly manage contracts, our lives in the military or in DOD would be a lot easier. Wes actually cares, and some of the information he gives is for your better. There's no benefit for him when he's telling you this stuff. It's him caring about what you're doing.
And again, this is an older video. That's when he was an instructor. Now he's back in the contracting office. So let me play this video.
All right, this is for people that are on Wes's live and they're like, oh, look for 52219-14. All right, so first I'm in the FAR, Federal Acquisition Regulation. Let me back up a little bit for you guys. So let's read this. As prescribed in 19.507 Echo, insert the following clause. All right, so when we looked at Echo, 19.507 Echo, shall insert the clause, right? Limitations of subcontracting in solicitations and contracts. And then it goes on to say, right here, the award is expected to exceed the SAT. And if you want to read all this, you can. If you don't know, most of Wes's are not expected to exceed the SAT. And then it goes on here to talk about mandatory sources, types of contracts, and it goes on, and you keep looking it up, and as you keep going. And I've gone through here and I've looked them all up, and he's talking about multiple awards or set-asides, BPAs, unless specifically stated, unless this clause, unless 52219-14, limitations of subcontracting are in the solicitation, and I'm going to make a follow-on, and I'm going to stitch these two together. Unless that clause is in the provisions and clauses or in the contract, and either one, unless it's in the solicitation or the contract, you do not have to worry about the people that are like, oh, watch for the pass-through, watch for the pass-through. All right, so here is the second video. This is another one that people talk about. 52215-23, limitation on pass-through charges. It goes on to talk about what a pass-through is, and it says specifically, excessive pass-through charge with respect to contractor or subcontractor that adds no or negligible value to a contract or subcontract means a charge to the government by the contractor or subcontractor that is for indirect cost or property fee on work performed by a subcontractor. Okay, if you look and watch what Wes is doing, he's doing this. Managing multiple sources for government contracts, coordinating deliveries, performance, quality assurance, and functions. That is allowable, right? Added value means, so that is what Wes is doing. He's adding value. Whether you agree with it or not, that is your prerogative as a CEO. Me personally, I would let Wes do this every day based off of the conversations we've had and the stuff that he's speaking about. He is adding value by having good management, multiple sources for contract requirements, and coordinating deliveries. He recently talked about a company messed up a shirt, same day, coordinating response and quality assurance to make sure that shirt got updated. That is value added. That company would not be providing that service, and they would not be responding to the government without Wes being in the picture. That is considered value added.
Okay, guys, but here's the most important thing I want you guys to understand. I want you to really, really understand this. And this is kind of how I differ from anyone out there on the internet. You know, this is how I differ. Everyone's like, I know best. You're wrong, I'm right. You're wrong, I'm right. As I started this YouTube video, everyone is actually right. As you might have heard Curb say, some CEOs may say, well, no, I don't think Wes is good. Some CEOs would say, yeah, I think Wes is good. Like, you guys got to understand in business, like, yes, things are black and white in the government, but sometimes, like, just in any day in the world, some things are not black and white. So I'm never going to say somebody is wrong or somebody is right. All I'm going to do is tell you what I do. And if you want to lock in and do it the way I'm doing, feel free to lock in. I'm sure all those other gurus and those people who are just like, he's wrong, she's wrong, I'm right, he's right, he's wrong. If you want to lock in with those type of personalities, go for it. But this is just the way I look at it, guys. This is just the way I look at it and the way I do it. I also have, people want to bring on their attorneys, their lawyers, their CEOs, and all these other people. And, well, have your CEO talk to my attorney and your attorney talk to my, like, I don't care. All I know is that this works. This is legal. This is the way we do it. So if you want to lock in with someone who's going to support you, not just tell you what you can't do, someone who's going to tell you how to do it the correct way, click the link in the bio below and you can lock in with me. You can come join the Contracting Blueprint. That is the name of my company. That is what we do. That is how we coach people. As it sits today, 2023, we have over $5 million awarded to all my students, all combined. Over $5 million awarded. We're probably going to easily hit over 10 million awards by the end of the year, but we're over $5 million awarded to my company, to my students. So Let that sink in for you guys. It's been great. All right, thanks for tuning in. I'll see you guys in the next one. If you're not subscribed, make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'm going to be covering so much more when it comes to government contracting and making money online. Give me the thumbs up. Leave a comment below if you got value out of this. Even if you disagree, leave a comment below. We love to have a discussion in the comment section. Let's keep it PG, keep it clean, be nice to each other. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.